Would you keep walking if you saw a dog sitting outside a boarded-up house for 6 days straight? Or would you stop and listen to what your heart was trying to tell you? Before we begin, if you've ever shared your life with a dog who would have waited forever for you, tell us their name in the comments. Their loyalty deserves to be remembered. The first to see the dog was Carrie Albright. She was walking home from her morning shift at the bakery just after sunrise when she spotted the German Shepherd sitting across the road from the abandoned Crowley place. At first, she thought it was a statue. It didn't move, even as she passed, even as her footsteps echoed along the pavement and the wind lifted her scarf. Nothing. He just sat there, still as a grave marker, facing the weathered porch of a house no one had lived in for over a decade. Carrie thought about calling someone, but life got busy. Her daughter was sick. Her boss was behind on payroll. So like many others, she kept walking. By day 3, nearly half the town had heard about the dog. Oak Ridge was the kind of place where time moved slow, nestled between rolling hills and long-forgotten woods. It had seen better years. Most of its residents were older, folks who remembered when the hardware store was a movie theater and the post office had a bell on the door. People were kind, but life had worn them thin. So when they saw the shepherd still sitting, rain-drenched, bone-thin, unmoved, most people assumed the same thing. He'll wander off eventually. But he didn't. By day 5, he started to look worse. His ribs showed. His right paw was bleeding slightly, likely from a nail or broken glass. Still, no one could get close. Every time someone tried, he'd growl, not with hatred, but warning, as if to say, not yet, not until she's safe. And no one understood what he meant. Walt Danner had buried his share of dogs. First was Max, his childhood mutt, then Dusty, the rescue who saved his son from a copperhead, and more recently Ruby, a golden retriever who had slept beside his late wife Eleanor for 10 years until she passed in her sleep. At 73, Walt had vowed never to get another dog. The pain of saying goodbye was too deep, too real. But something about that shepherd, something in those amber eyes, stirred a part of Walt's soul he thought had died with Eleanor. On the 6th morning, as frost kissed the edges of the mailboxes and mist rolled across Maple Hollow, Walt grabbed his cane and coat. It was time. When Walt pulled up to the Crowley place, the dog stood. Not aggressively, not fearfully, just stood, like a soldier at attention. Walt stepped out of the truck slowly, palms open. "I'm not here to hurt anyone," he said softly. "Just came to see what you're guarding, friend." The shepherd stared, muscles taut, ears forward. Then he took one step back, looked at the porch door, and whimpered. Walt followed his gaze. The door wasn't just open, it had been forced. Someone had broken in, but no one had come out. Walt had fought fires in buildings like this. Rotted, hollow, aching with old memories. Every creak of the floor was a question. Will this hold? "Is someone here?" He called out. "Anyone in here?" "I'm with the fire department. Retired, but I can help." No response. Then faint, like a memory trying to return. He heard it. A cough. Soft, ragged, small. He followed it to the back of the house, stepping over fallen beams, broken furniture, and finally reaching the parlor. The stench hit him first. Rot, mildew, something worse. And then he saw her, a child, curled beneath a moth-eaten blanket. Skin pale, eyes sunken, but alive. Walt dropped to his knees. "Sweetheart?" She didn't speak, just blinked. Behind him, the shepherd nudged past, rushed to her side, and licked her hand. "Take a moment. If you were the one who found her, after 6 days, what would you have done first? A hug? A prayer? Let us know in the comments. These are the moments that define us. Lily Thatcher, age 6, no emergency contact, no recent school enrollment. Walt rushed her to the hospital while calling Sheriff Miriam Lane from his old fire radio. Rex, the shepherd, never left her side, even riding in the back of the ambulance, his head pressed to her chest. The doctors said she was dangerously dehydrated, days from death, but she'd survive. Walt stayed in the hospital overnight. Something in him knew he couldn't leave her. She wouldn't talk much, but every time she woke, she reached out for Rex. That dog had become her lifeline. It wasn't long before the details trickled in. Lily's mother had lost her job. They'd been evicted. She brought Lily to the abandoned house in secret, saying it would only be for a few nights. But on the second night, the mother slipped in the bathroom. The floorboards were warped. Her head struck the edge of the tub. She died instantly. And Lily? She waited. She waited with the only soul she trusted. The story that reached the town wasn't just about Lily. It was about the 6 days Rex stood guard. He'd slept beside her body, then beside Lily. Then when the rot grew strong and rats began to sniff at the corners of the house, he dragged broken planks to cover the back entrance and took his post by the front. He wouldn't eat, wouldn't drink unless she did. He didn't bark. He didn't chase. He waited, because somewhere in his canine heart, Rex knew if he stayed, someone would come. And they did. Have you ever known a dog that seemed to understand more than people thought they could? Share their story. Sometimes, the best way to honor their memory is to speak it aloud. Walt and Eleanor took Lily home from the hospital. At first, she was quiet, traumatized, distant. But over time, she began to hum again, paint, smile. She'd sit on Walt's lap during winter evenings. While he read her picture books, Rex curled up at their feet. She'd whisper in her sleep sometimes, "Don't go, stay with me." And Rex would rise, gently nudge her arm, and settle beside her. There was no paperwork, no court date. Lily was theirs now. They didn't rescue her. She rescued them. One spring afternoon, a full year after the rescue, the mayor called Walt. "We're honoring Rex. Town Square, Saturday. You and Lily should come." The square filled with faces old and young. Someone had even printed Rex's photo on banners. Ears perked, eyes bright, tail strong, a true guardian. The mayor gave a speech. Walt gave one too. But it was Lily's that broke everyone's heart. Standing on a wooden crate, in a yellow dress too big for her frame, she held the golden tag and whispered into the microphone, "He didn't just save me, he waited, because he knew I was worth it." Silence, then applause, then tears. Do you believe animals can sense when we need them? If you do, tell someone today about the dog that waited for you, loved you, or saved you. We need those stories now more than ever. Years later, when Lily was a teenager, she returned to that house. It had been torn down. Only the stone steps remained. She placed a collar on the top stair, Rex's collar. He'd passed the winter before, warm in her arms, having lived a long life filled with backyard games, snowball fights, and naps by the fireplace. She whispered, "You kept your promise," and turned to leave. A gust of wind blew leaves down the porch steps, just behind her. A robin landed on the stone and chirped. Lily smiled. Some bonds never break. This story was about a child, about an old man, about a dog. But mostly, it was about loyalty. If you felt something today, share this video, because someone out there has forgotten what true loyalty looks like. And maybe, just maybe, this is the story that will remind them.